Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order this special meeting of the School Board of Independent School District 112. Today's date's October 25th, 2021. Our first order of business tonight in this special session will be communication, will be the open forum. So just before we get started with that, I just want to go over a couple things. Thanks again, everyone, for coming out. As we describe in all of our board meetings, open forum is an important time for us as the board to hear from the community. It's a time for community members to get up and talk about any topic, but there are rules around it and guidance that just helps to make this go smooth. And the first thing is as part of this, it's 3 minutes. And during that time, the board does not respond to it. But if you do want to follow up, we try to follow up to each and every individual inside the community. Just either mention that when you get up, and we'll make sure that we follow up with you on any of your topics. Now, as we all know, during our last board meeting, it got a little bit contentious, and we want to make sure that us as a board, that we always have a safe environment for all voices inside of the community. And as part of that, we really do have guidelines that tonight we need to follow and enforce to that level. The first one is that 3 minutes. We've got 45 minutes. We want to get through and listen to as many people as we possibly can. So tonight there'll be a timer that'll be forward facing to the speaker, so you can follow that as well. And then Aaron will give a 30-second time with that as well. So please be cognitive of that. Once that timer goes off, I will interrupt and ask for the next speaker at that time. That just allows us to continue to move through this. The other thing is just that level of respect. Again, we're all one community here. And during that, we do ask to not applaud, to not comment, to not cheer. And that is because oftentimes we just have multiple perspectives inside the community present. That allows respect across the board. Tonight, given what happened in the past, we need to enforce that. So I just ask you, please hold your applauses in anything of that level. Let's just listen to the speakers. Let's hear that level of comment that's coming forward. If that persists, that's where we'd have to recess and then just move on to our school board meeting. Tonight we do have the special meeting session of the board here for the open forum. We'll go 45 minutes. We'll then adjourn. We're then going to drive over to the board room and then re-adjourn and then have the rest of the board meeting over there as well. So again, thank you everyone for coming out. I think it's really important to hear from the community. The board wants to hear from the community. So with that, let's begin the open forum for this evening. First up is Jonas Schulberg. Hi, Jonas.
Hello. Hi, I want to speak today to not necessarily the board, but to the community. And many who are watching this or listening are probably aware of something that transpired 4 weeks ago. And that situation was created by a culture in which people are told that they need to fight other opinions, that there is another side that is evil. People are led to believe that diversity of opinion is something bad, that compromise is something bad, and nothing can be further from the truth. So I want to make a message to the community and to the younger generation here that I want to express how crucial and important it is that each and every one of us use our voice, that we might find ourselves in challenging situations. We might find ourselves among people that are upset or angry, and it might seem hopeless, but nothing gets better unless we make it better. We need to show up, we need to speak up, and we need to take place. The most American thing that one can do is to express one's opinion and to be open-minded, to be respectful and listen to others' opinions, to come together, and then finally, of course, and come together and support democratic decisions. E pluribus unum. Ironically, this is exactly what our schools are trying to instill: the value of differing opinions and finding unity to reach democratic decisions. I support democracy, I support the school board, support you, and I reject violence. If you do the same to the community, I urge you to all vote in the referendum and vote yes. Support our schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonas. Next up, Elena Hansen. Hi, Elena.
It's Eliana, actually.
Sorry about that. Welcome.
Hi everyone, my name is Eliana Henson and I'm a student here at Chaska. When I was in 5th grade, I had the opportunity to try out band, my first real experience with a musical instrument, unless you count a handful of disastrous piano attempts in my early years of elementary school. After trying out a couple of instruments, I settled on trombone and went on to play up through high school. I now play in the top band here at Chaska, or if you've gone to our school's football games, you've probably seen me there in the marching band. My younger brother followed a similar path 3 years ago, choosing the saxophone in 5th grade and later branching out to play percussion and become a great help to the technological side of middle school band. Now, my little sister in 4th grade desperately hopes to start her own musical career in 5th grade band next year, along with many of her friends of the same age. A chance that she'll only get if the referendum is passed. Our musical programs aren't the only thing that will suffer losses if the people of Eastern Carver County don't pass the referendum next week. At the high school level, we've been feeling the sting of the last failure for 2 years now, as our advanced courses disappear from the curriculum due to lack of funding and the reduction of our schedule to a 6-period day. I'm a senior myself, although still a few months short of being able to vote for the plan that'll decide the future of so many of my friends, and I've only had to miss 4 semesters worth of classes, 2 of them being what would have been my final year of Spanish, because too many of the people of this district voted no in 2019. For the freshmen of this year, including my brother, and all entering high school in this district going forward, the opportunities of high school have been reduced by twice as much as what I face. I speak now to the voters of Chaska, Chanhassen, Carver, and Victoria. How many more opportunities will you deny those of us who can do nothing but stand up here and implore you to take our education seriously? I know that our current national method of school funding is flawed, to say the least. It's biased toward richer districts, and that might not necessarily be us. But I know that with the compassion and generosity you've always shown towards your community, you'll want to rise above the strife and continue to provide the best possible future for the children of our district by voting yes.
Thank you, Eliana.
Thank you.
Sophia Engelbretson. Hi, Sophie.
I'm a freshman at Chaska High School, and I wanted to share some of my school experiences. First and second grade, I made one of my best friends. We did pretty much everything together, at least in school. Those 2 years were some of my best school experiences. We dressed up for Halloween, made gingerbread houses, and made so many other fun things. We had a school auction during one of those years, and I still have our class photo that I won. I love having that as a reminder of how much fun school can be, even when it is tough. In 3rd grade, I was in a different class than my friend, and it felt like the end of the world. But it turned out to be a great year for me because my teacher, Mrs. Beto, made my class so fun. We got to make s'mores for a science project in solar ovens, and even though my friend wasn't in my class, I made other good friends. We even did a movie day where we were all in pajamas and had the lights turned off with a fake blow-up fire. My 5th grade teacher, in my 5th grade year, I couldn't have had a better teacher, and it turned out I had her for all of my classes. Mrs. Kelzer left an impact on me because she was one of the happiest people I knew, and even when I wasn't feeling good, she made me feel so much better. Mrs. Kelzer had cancer when I had her as a teacher, and it was heartbreaking. But every time she would come back from chemo or some type of treatment, she would be so happy just for us because she loved teaching us and being around us. The fact that my teachers want to be with me is what makes my school experience so much better. History was one of my favorite classes in middle school, and I pride myself on that because lots of kids would come into class and complain about it, but I truly love hearing about our history in seminars Mr. Peoples did every week. I pride myself on that because 6th grade was a tough year for me, and I didn't know where I belonged with all the groups of kids, and going to Mr. Peoples' class gave me a break from it all. My 8th grade year, I took Earth and Space Science, which is a fun class, especially with Miss Scott. She made my class so funny and created it to be a fun class so we would want to come back the next day. During our win time, she would host karaoke as a fun break from school, which made my day so much better. I also played in the band all 3 years of middle school. Mr. Songer is one of the best teachers and mentors I have ever met. He taught me so many things about myself I would have never known, like how I made so many friends when I was around Mr. Songer, because he made me want to be outgoing and do and and do things. I also need to give credit to Miss Seidel, who was cut because of the referendum. She was an amazing musician and teacher and made my middle school years so much more fun. My point is that the schools I have gone through and the teachers I have had have made such an impact on my life, and I see the world in a better way than I did before.
Thank you, Sophie. Megan Williams. Hi, Megan.
Hi. All right, there once was a psychology professor who had his students participate in an experiment. He asked them all day to play Tetris for 24 hours straight. After doing what seemed to be the best assignment ever, the students actually came back asking and begging him to make it stop. Everywhere they went after completing their homework, all they could see and think about was Tetris. If they moved a box, Tetris. If they adjusted an item on the shelf of the grocery store, Tetris. Because what the brain does a lot of, the brain gets really good at. My brain spends a lot of time at La Academia. During the last 13 years, I've been in many school buildings as a teacher, instructional coach, interim dean, and my most prideful role, parent. I am currently at La Academia as a physical education teacher. Every building where I have taught and worked and sent my own children to has been nothing shy of impressive in teaching, learning, and community. But La Academia is where I chose to send my children, who are in kindergarten and first grade. The 3 minutes I have here tonight will never be able to paint the positive Tetris effect my brain gets to experience every day at La Academia. But here's a small taste. At La Academia, our community has come together around one teacher's passion project to write grants and then build our own outdoor classroom. This space allows kids to meet learning targets and standards through hands-on exploration, thinking, and self-discovery, and all outdoors. Truly amazing. In my space, we have created a football field that displays classrooms as jerseys. We discuss and reflect at the start and end of every class about what it means to be a safe, respectful, and responsible learner. We reflect on how well we achieved our goals at the end of class, and then we move up the field. Students earn incentives such as their favorite move-in activities, and student reflections are truly amazing. Thanks to the dedicated staff throughout our district who work every day to keep our kiddos safe, our students are finally returning to some normalcy. Our La Academia first graders, mine included, have yet to experience a normal school day and are finally going on their first field trip. Truly amazing. Our 2 Amity interns, one from Chile and Colombia, are immersed in our classrooms. They are supporting as language models, building strong relationships, and teaching about their cultures and homes. Lastly, our teachers. Everything as we ask as a district to ask our teachers to do, they are doing it in Spanish, where most of our learners at our primary levels anyways are just starting to learn the language. The energy, song and dance, movement, picture clues, and hand gestures that they do day in and day out to help our students learn the standards, all on top of a new language, is a true definition of mind-blowing. My 2 boys don't count the days until weekends or breaks. They count how many days they get to be in school. That is 100% thanks to the teachers, the support staff, and the community that has built La Academia and Kinder Academy. I challenge all of you to create the Tetris effect about our schools in your own brain. The next time you visit any of our amazing schools, I challenge you to count all the Tetris moments happening around you all the time.
Thank you, Megan. Next, Amy McGinnis. Hi, Amy.
Good evening. My name is Amy McGinnis. My husband and I moved to Carver County in 1998 and have loved raising our 3 children in this community. Our oldest son graduated from Chanhassen High School in the spring. Our middle son is currently a junior at Chan, and we are excited to see him in this fall's musical production of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, along with more than 80 other students in the cast, crew, and pit orchestra. It feels really good to see him back doing something that feels natural and familiar. I'm not gonna lie, distance learning and hybrid models were not ideal for any of my kids. It was isolating and they each felt their own version of disconnect and knew they were missing out on some fun and formative times. As our youngest son prepared to begin his freshman year at Chanhassen High School this fall, I almost skipped Meet the Teacher night. I'd been to it before, year after year, all through elementary, middle, and high school for him and his brothers. I admit, my guilt made me go. Boy, am I glad I went. Each and every teacher that we met managed to make a connection with my kid in a matter of mere minutes, calming any nerves he may have had. How did they do that? After a year and a half where they were asked to teach in previously unimagined ways, how did they manage to show up like that? My children have truly had the best teachers every step of the way. Actually, I'm not surprised at all. You see, it is also my privilege to teach at Chanhassen Elementary. I know how they did it because I did it too. Each and every one of my colleagues did it. Every single day, we welcome the students back for another day. We see them as they look into our eyes, knowing that they will find reassurance and connection in a community where they feel safe, where they experience joy and friendship, and where they are known and supported. And I'm excited to do it again tomorrow. Thank you for supporting Eastern Carver County Schools.
Thank you, Amy. Pam Wentic. Hi, Pam.
Hello. Before I get to my prepared remarks, I just wanted to say as I was sitting here, I think if you ever use this venue again, you should let people have a theme song that they submit that plays while they walk down. Could just set the mood, might lead to the viral moment the community really wants. And so in that spirit, my theme song tonight would be Beauty School Dropout. I am here tonight to speak to the value of offering robust and diverse course offerings to secondary students. It's easy to become hyper-focused on STEM, AP, and accelerated course offerings. It's happened to me. When my daughter Lucy was a junior, she decided to sign up for cosmetology. I was not inspired by this class choice. I felt like she was wasting valuable academic opportunities, and I saw little upside. I quickly began to notice, when asked about her day, cosmetology was the first class she talked about. Soon, she began talking about it without even being prompted. She would bring her practice mannequins home to show us side bangs and layers she put in their hair. I started to consider it as an opportunity for career exploration. I came to see the class was relaxing and fun for her. Getting out from behind a desk and using her mind and body in different ways made her a better student when she was back at her desk. Her time in cosmetology improved her confidence and self-esteem. With her decreased anxiety and increased belief in her abilities, she was better able to participate in the challenging classes I thought I valued. In the spring of 2020, COVID hit. Salons were considered non-essential and shut down. I quickly realized, thanks to my local public school, I had a human in my house who knew the life skill of cutting hair. This suddenly became more important than calculus, AP Lang, or biology. Lucy began cutting our hair and friends' hair. We were some of the best looking people in those early dark days of the pandemic. I now have a new appreciation for learning life skills alongside traditional classes. Lucy is now a freshman at Madison. Her cosmetology days are behind her, and she isn't interested in cutting hair as a career. She did take her supplies with her to college. She has made new friends while giving haircuts. It still brings her joy, relaxes her, and she appreciates the opportunity she had to learn about cosmetology in her junior year. I stumbled across her mannequins a few weeks ago and smiled fondly at them. I'm grateful for Lucy's time spent with them. I encourage the community to vote yes in the referendum so that we can continue to fund diverse classes that enrich all students. I also encourage district administration and the school board to preserve and prioritize funding for those classes.
Thank you, Pam. Jeremy Engelbretson. Hi, Jeremy.
I have 3 daughters that have been part of Eastern Carver County Schools. One is currently a junior in college and has chosen to be a high school science teacher. This is in large part influenced by her experiences with science teachers in the district over the years. My other two daughters are at Chaska High School. As parents, my wife and I have always appreciated the overall approach of teachers and our school and district administration with respect to supporting students developmentally and providing a wide range of experiences that have helped them develop into who they are now. Going back to when it all began, all three of my daughters attended the kindergarten center while that was in existence. Having all of the kindergarten students in that building allowed for a high level of collaboration between the teachers and the ability to provide an environment where 5- and 6-year-olds thrived. This place kicked off their educational journey in such a way that they simply wanted to be at school with friends and teachers, and they loved learning. At Clover Ridge, my daughters were part of the looping structure. They were all able to develop strong relationships with each teacher, having them for 2 years in a row. One of my daughters had a couple of years where she would get fairly anxious. Even though she didn't show this in outward, obvious ways, her teacher noticed the small changes and offered suggestions that helped her and put us as parents at ease. For many years, there was a program that happened in the morning where all students were assigned in groups to an adult in the school. They did a variety of things ranging from social skill building activities to mentoring each other with academic skills. This experience is remembered by my daughters as a time when they first developed skills in working with others, and they also have fond memories of the overall feeling of community this provided. Community has been a constant theme for all of us as a family being a part of Eastern Carver County Schools. One particular community of people has involved music. This began with vibrant and energetic elementary music teachers who instilled a love for all things music. The foundation of band, starting with 5th grade and continuing all through high school, has been second to none. For a couple of my daughters, this group of band students they have connected with has not only fostered their commitment to music, but it has bridged what can be difficult transitions from elementary to middle school and middle to high school. As parents, there are so many things to be grateful for that we get to be a part of. The environment at a Friday night football game with the band playing, the dance team dancing, honoring the traditions of Eastern Carver schools through the Hall of Fame, they all add to this community. Seeing the way that our schools support through various community outreach programs sets an example of what we hope for in a citizen of the community. Enjoying an evening with other proud parents of all the high school choir or band students solidifies that feeling of community. Teachers and administrators have offered a high level of support in many ways to my daughters and to us as parents. At the high school, multiple teachers made themselves available for additional help when it was needed. Our high school counseling department is very proactive and responsive when needed in helping students navigate preparation for post-secondary plans. When reaching out to a dean or principal over the years with a particular question, my email was often followed up with a phone call. This allowed for a more personal connection. I'm proud to say that my children attend Eastern Carver County Schools.
Thank you, Jeremy. I apologize because I can't read the first name here. Is it Daryl Hansen? Thanks. Hi, Daryl.
Good evening, Superintendent, school board members. Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you. I came here tonight because of the fiasco that occurred during the previous open forum. After witnessing the vitriol and violence by an overly vocal minority of the community, I felt that I needed to speak up. I believe the vast majority of us in this district are civil-minded and would much rather debate the merits of a policy or action based on facts than resort to name-calling and intimidation tactics. These are the methods of a bully, plain and simple. Your job is often a thankless job, but you willingly do it anyway. Almost all of us understand why. It is for the kids that you are responsible for. It is the same reason that we have so many outstanding teachers and staff in our district. They would not be doing it if they did not care extremely deeply for the kids under their care, just as you are. So I want to say thank you for being here and giving so much of yourself for the benefit of our kids. It has been an especially challenging year and a half, and we are not through the woods yet. Thank you for putting tested science and data front and center as objective criteria for how to respond to the pandemic. Thank you for listening to the experts who spend their entire careers training, studying, and testing to best inform the policymakers such as yourselves. Thank you for requiring extra safety measures like masks, improved ventilation, and distancing, even when naysayers said they were pointless or a waste of resources. Most especially, thank you for sticking through it, and through the pressure campaigns meant to derail an effective response to this extraordinary event in our lives.
Thank you, Daryl. Next, Jamie Larson. Hi, Jamie.
Good evening. My name is Jamie, and I'm a resident here in Chaska. I'd like to start off by thanking all of the members of the school board. I know that each of you have a life and a family outside of the role that you play here. And I know that this year has been challenging, and you've had to make many challenging decisions that are often met with resistance. I decided to speak today not because I enjoy public speaking. Anyone who knows me knows that's far from the truth, but because I feel like I have a unique perspective. I am a parent of 4 wonderful children that have received a fantastic education in District 112. I am also a nurse that has worked bedside throughout this pandemic. I have cared for and seen the impacts of COVID-19 on some of our youngest and most vulnerable patients in OB. I have seen the fear in parents' eyes when we have to test their new baby for this horrible virus. The fear of the unknown on whether or not they will recover and be able to return home to their young families, because some of them are not. And you may be asking yourself why this is important to talk about at the school board meeting, and the answer is simple. A majority of the positive cases we are seeing are from families that have school-aged children and whose children have tested positive after exposures at school. Pregnant women tend to be some of the most cautious groups of people throughout this pandemic because both their own and their unborn child's life is in jeopardy if they get sick. Wearing masks work. Although a mask in itself provides only some protection, a mask, when worn by all, does. It is a simple way we can help those that are most vulnerable. I feel as a community, we have often forgot what it means to care about others. I challenge us collectively to not allow COVID to be something that divides us, and instead that gives us the opportunity to come together and do what is best for our community as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Again, I'm going to apologize on this one. Is it Marin Nelson?
Yes, Marin Nelson.
Oh, good. Welcome, Marin.
Thank you. My name is Marin Nelson, and I live in Carver. I was an elementary school teacher for 22 years, and for the last 4 years, I've been subbing in our district. I've had many of your kids in my classroom, and I may even have had a few of you here tonight. I have 2 adult daughters who went to school in our district, and I had the unique opportunity to have each of them in my classroom for a short time. As a teacher, when your child is in my classroom or any of my colleagues' classrooms, we treat your kiddos like they are our own. We are family. We will go above and beyond for our students, stay late, arrive early, take it home, whatever it takes to help your kids, our kiddos, find success. Of course, we are teaching academic subjects in our classrooms, but also to be kind, be responsible, cooperative, and respectful. We are helping your kids to get excited about learning, spark an interest in a topic, find their passions, and strive to be their best selves. We are on the same team. Me, the teacher, you, the parents, our administration, and our extended community. We all have the same goal: your child's well-being and education. There is so much goodness in a classroom. I would encourage all of you, actually challenge you even, to sign up to volunteer in a school in our district. If you are at all curious about what is going on, get in there, volunteer your time, see it for yourself. Please use all this passion that we have here tonight for the good of the kids, for the teachers, and for our schools. Sadly, the last referendum did not pass, and the negative effects have been felt by all of the kids in grades K through 12. I, like many of you, was really shocked when I learned that it did not pass by a mere 100 votes. Equally shocking is that only about 42% of eligible voters came out to vote. So, I challenge each of you to please take a few minutes to get out and vote yes, so that that doesn't happen again. A yes vote means yes to reducing the class sizes that were raised when the last referendum didn't pass. It means yes for retaining our high-quality teachers that have been actually recruited by nearby districts who did not face budget cuts like us. Yes is for regaining those music programs, the athletics, and the activities that were cut too. A yes vote simply means yes. I support our district, I support our students, and I want what is best for kids. My friend Bob Rebke said, I'm asking for people to support the school district 112 referendum. He said the two factors that influence where people decide to live are a quality education system and a place where neighbors care about each other. So he said, let's invest in this referendum because there's no more important investment than the future of our children, which is the future of our communities.
Thank you, Marnie. Lauren McKay. Sorry, Laura. Hi, Laura.
Hi, my name is Laura McKay, and I am a Chaska resident. First of all, I just want to echo the gratitude to our board and our administration for making this such a wonderful district to be part of. I love this district. I choose to live in this district. I've chosen to have my children go through all of their schooling years in this district. I have an 8th grader at West right now and a senior in high school here at Chaska High School. My husband and I both choose to work in this district. In terms of the past 2 years, I had a conversation with my daughter, who's a senior, on what she has noticed. Among other things that were a little deeper, one of the comments that really stuck with me is a lot of us don't really know what we're missing. And that's not entirely true. As we've heard from some of the students here tonight, they've had to make some tough choices. Sometimes they've had to choose between music and arts and different languages that they wanted to take. But there is some truth to what she said, and that is because of the amazing staff in this district and how they have stepped up to continue to offer quality education to our students. Through a pandemic and a failed referendum, they've continued to provide that quality education. Their already challenging jobs have gotten more challenging. The students might not know what they are missing, but we do. They deserve more choices, smaller class sizes, teachers with the ability to give them more individualized attention. They deserve more resources that are comparable to neighboring school districts. They deserve to know that they matter to our community. As a parent and a community member, on or before November 2nd, I really hope that we can set aside our differences and unite in our common interest, the well-being of our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Cheryl Peterson. Hi, Cheryl.
Hi there. Good evening. My name is Cheryl Peterson, and this is my 23rd year teaching in Eastern Carver County Schools. I've been an educator here for my entire career. I currently teach English 9, English 10, and the Avid 10 elective course at Chaska High School. I wear many different hats in our school district. Besides being a community member, I am also a parent in the district. I have 3 sons, a sophomore at Chaska High School, a 7th grader at Chaska Middle School West, and a 4th grader at Clover Ridge Elementary School. My purpose for speaking with you today is to brag about our amazing students and teachers at Chaska High School. 3 years ago, we started implementing the AVID program at CHS. AVID stands for Advancement via Individual Determination. The AVID program started in 1980 in San Diego, California, with an elective class of 32 students, and it now serves over 2 million students in over 7,500 schools in 47 states and in 16 countries. AVID helps teachers shift from delivering content to facilitating learning, resulting in an inquiry-based, student-centric classroom. These elements are at the core of the approach to closing the opportunity gap. What's so great about this program is that AVID shifts the manner with which teachers facilitate learning without layering on a new curriculum. Teachers have the flexibility to add tools from AVID to augment the learning of any subject in our building. This school year, the teachers at Chaska High School have totally embraced using Avid strategies in their classrooms through the use of class notebooks or 3-ring binders, which are typically organized in a certain manner. Having the students record their learning by using focused notes, using a variety of teaching strategies, including sentence frames, word walls, 10-2 and 4 corners, and by getting students to engage with one another and defend their stance on a topic through the use of philosophical chairs and Socratic seminars. In my Avid 10 elective class, my students have had an opportunity to coach one another through points of confusion that they have in a particular class. We hold these tutorial sessions twice a week, and to watch the kids help guide one another to understanding would take your breath away. We are only 3 weeks into our tutorial process, and I am so proud of the work our students have already accomplished this school year. I'm proud to be a Chaska community member, to raise my family in this community so that they can be positively impacted by the teachers and coaches who serve our students, and I'm proud to teach my neighbors and my friends' kids. Folks in the room and friends at home, if you have not already, please vote yes in support of the amazing work our staff and students are doing.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Amelia Larson. Hi, Amelia.
Hi.
We can adjust that.
My name is Amelia. I'm a 6th grader in the Carver County School District. I've been wearing my mask since school started and it hasn't been a problem. Getting back to school with a mask has been a lot better than doing remote learning. I would like to encourage the school district to keep the mask mandate until the threat of COVID-19 has passed. I'm choosing to wear a mask because it protects myself and the people around me. I've been exposed multiple times and it's scary not knowing what comes next after the test results, whether it's positive or negative. Thankfully, my family is healthy and we have had no positive results, but I do fear the long-term effects that COVID could cause in my future if I were to get it. When the vaccine has been approved for my age group, I will be the first in line so I can protect myself and the people around me. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Amelia. Jamie Oldenburg. Hi, Jamie.
Hi, my name is Jamie. I'm a Chaska resident. I'm an alumni of Chaska Schools and currently have 2 daughters at Chaska High School. I truly value my education from this district, and I had hoped my kids could receive the same. So I'd like to encourage everyone to vote yes on the referendum. My family has felt the impact in many ways of the budget cuts from the last referendum not being passed. Most notably, my 12th grader had been really looking forward to certain classes for her senior year. She wanted to try a couple things in high school that could help guide her in what to do after high school. Many of those classes and programs were cut. She was especially devastated about journalism being cut, and she no longer has those opportunities to explore what could be a future career. It's too late for current seniors to get those opportunities back, but I'm hoping the younger kids can benefit from a community that supports them in their future. Kids like my 9th grader, who struggles with a learning disability and benefits greatly from smaller class sizes and specialized learning. Needless to say, we've all shed many tears from the changes. The kids in school today are our future community members. They'll grow up to be your neighbors and your friends. So don't we want them to have the best education and opportunities possible? Please vote yes. Thank you. And thank you, School Board, for protecting and caring for our kids.
Thank you, Jamie. Dave Bergren. No Dave? Deb Fladson? Hi, Deb.
My name is Deb Pladson, and I have a 9th grader and a 12th grader at Chanhassen High School. I wanted to take a few moments tonight to be a cheerleader for our district, like my daughter's a cheerleader for Chanhassen High School. From kindergarten on, my family's been a part of District 112. I've been very involved in PTO at the elementary and middle school levels, and I've witnessed firsthand the heart and empathy that our own teachers, staff, and administration professionals display, such as paying out of their own pocket for students to have coats, boots, books, or any other items that might aid in their education and their well-being. Today I attended parent-teacher conferences at the high school for my 2 children and was again reminded at each session how much our district teachers care about our kids. Their concern goes far beyond someone's grade or score on a test. They want the student as a whole to feel successful. And my wish is that teachers and staff can feel successful as well. Having a seat on the school board or being a teacher or working as an administrator in the district can sometimes feel like a thankless job, but it doesn't have to be. I'm here to say thank you. Thank you for serving. Thank you for considering the needs of all children. Thank you for allowing me to disagree with you at times, and for your communication back to me. Now it's time for the community to show our support by approving the November referendum. Let's get back to making improvements and strides forward in our own students' education and positively cheering on our district. Side note, my daughter's cheer team will compete at regionals this Saturday, and that decides whether they go to Orlando in February. So we'll be back with an update when we make plane reservations.
Great. Thank you, Deb. Joseph Scott. Hi, Joseph.
Hey, good to see you, Jeffrey. Yeah, the comment, excuse me, the comments that I have, I'm a recently retired marketing person. So this I think of in terms of like products and customers. So I was at a meeting earlier this month, and I found out that our school district actually lost 300 students, which struck me as really odd. So as being a kind of a statistics guy, I went to the Department of Education website, and they do a really nice job of breaking down census data by school district. So over the last 10 years, I was really surprised to see that the enrollment of our school district has not been keeping pace with the increase in school-age kids. And so I started thinking a little bit more about why that could be, and then also how, when I asked the representatives of the school board, why do you think those kids left our district, they didn't know. So in my situation, if I would have lost 300 customers, I'd be asking some questions. During that same 10-year period, the increase in private schools enrollment in our district increased, as well as the others, you know, people who are going outside of the district and so forth. So that concerned me, but then when I thought about it, well, obviously we've got a couple of high schools that are competition. So what my concern is, you know, why are these parents either taking their kids out of our school district, or why are they not enrolling them in our school district to begin with? So now I'm thinking product. So just from looking at surveys, Money Magazine, Fortune, and so forth, the big reasons are academic rigor, safety, and discipline. Now, I haven't talked to a lot of private school parents, so I can't answer those questions. But that's what my concern is that if our public school enrollment is not keeping up with the increase in school-age kids in our district, and people aren't enrolling their kids or they're leaving our school district, it would probably be a really good idea to talk to both of those constituencies, because it's especially interesting when you put your kid in private school, you're still paying taxes to the school district. So it's kind of really an interesting situation. So anyway, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Please think about that, because I think the future of our school district is really tied closely to those issues.
Thank you, Joseph. That ends the local resident. We do have one non-resident who signed up as well. I think it's Gay Guyton, sorry. Welcome.
Thank you. Mr. Rogers had a song called Won't You Be My Neighbor? Do you remember it? The lyrics say, I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, won't you be my neighbor? It only takes a quick Google search about Eastern Carver County to find comments about how friendly this area of Minnesota is. In fact, our communities are top rated for the best neighborhoods in Carver County. To those who are thinking of moving here, the attacks on the school board at the last board meeting did not reflect the community values affirmed by our local city councils, values like citizenship, human worth and dignity, integrity, learning, and respect for others. These are also the values we teach in school. For more than 20 years, my energy has been dedicated to students here. Even as an introverted Minnesotan who isn't comfortable with too much hoopla, I can tell you from personal experience that our children in our community are exceptional, and they are something to celebrate. If you have 5 minutes with any of them, you know how wise, caring, funny, hardworking, and authentic they are. They are amazing. You know this. They are your children, your grandchildren, and your young neighbors. I love my students, and I would do anything I could to help them. It is because of that that I am here tonight. Every student in our district deserves the best our community has to offer. Your support for schools is needed now more than ever. Smaller class sizes would mean that each child receives more personalized attention and that teachers have more energy and time to devote to each student. Community support means that our children will have the opportunity to learn music from exceptional teachers like Eric Songer. Your support means that our schools can retain outstanding staff who become part of our community. Our schools are neighborhood centers to be proud of, built by neighbors working together on behalf of our children. Our communities benefit from strong schools and high school grads who are sought after for jobs and scholarships to further their education. Collectively, we are all the district. It's not the board or the administration, it's all of us. An attack on the district is an attack on our community. Please don't let divisive rhetoric drain the energy we need to show up for each other. When we operate out of a shared sense of community, we can solve the most difficult problems. Our sense of community and neighborliness are our strengths. Our children are our future. No one who works for the school district does this for money or glory or power. We do this work because we believe so strongly in our community's youth. We are stronger together. Please join us.
Thank you, Gail. Thank you, everyone. We made it through the list of everyone. Thank you for being efficient with the time as well. As I mentioned before, it is great to get the perspective of the community and hear all voices. So again, appreciate everything that was shared tonight with the board. And we're going to adjourn this, and then we'll re-adjourn over in the DEC. Thank you.